How's it going, ladies and bruises? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Ever 17. We're still working our way down Sara's ending here, hopefully. And we found ourselves back in the room that made us lose our shit and nearly kill ourselves trying to smash the metal door down with our body last time. So it's probably not going to go well. Moonlight showed into the sick room. I heard a voice crying somewhere. Oh no, it is going to go again. The muffled voice kept sniffling and sobbing again and again. Who was it? Who are you? I didn't know what I was escaping from. Waiting for? For what? Why I was waiting for me? Was I waiting for me? And where in the world was that? This was... Just then the scene dissolved away. You ran away. You left that kid and ran away alone. The voice kept repeating itself in my head. Wait, tell me. I didn't know what I'd run from, or to where. What was I? Gradually, the scenery around me began to change into eerie colours. I woke up and almost leapt out of the bed. I was in the infirmary. My body was drenched in sweat. Ouch. A sharp pain shot through my right arm. I looked at my right arm and stared confused at the cast on my arm. I didn't know why. Then I remembered I'd broken my arm and was resting. I was still foggy from the drugs. A string of hazy memories came back to me. I remember the scary dream I had. I thought it was from the fever and medicine. I was sure of it. That's why I had such bizarre dreams. I shook my head and tried to get a bit of grip of my consciousness. I looked at the clock on the wall. It was a bit past 2 in the morning. Normally it'd be the middle of the night, but somehow it didn't feel like that at all. I tried to remember how long we'd been trapped here. An extended amount of time in here, where the cycles of day and night were meaningless, really played with one's sense of time. I sat up, taking care to watch out for my broken arm. Sara's pendant was by my left hand. It looked like I'd fallen asleep with it clasped in my hand. I gotta return this. I slipped off the bed. My right arm felt slightly feverish, but because the medicine Takeshi had injected was probably still working, it didn't hurt much. But I was still unable to move it normally. Next to the pillow was a sling for me to hang my arm. I wondered if Takeshi had left it, or maybe you. Either way, I couldn't just let my hurt arm swing back and forth as I walked, so I put it on. I thought about where Sara might be. I figured she might be asleep. I wondered where she always slept. An image of Sara atop the whale floated into my mind. I decided to try there first. If she weren't there, then I'd try somewhere else. Still a bit groggy, I left the infirmary. I went down the elevator and headed for the cosmic whale. I heard the sound of splashing. It wasn't from the generator room. It sounded like it came from the pipe room. I wonder what that is. When I entered the room... Sara? The moment I saw what was happening, I jumped into the water. After I jumped, I remembered that my arm was broken, but it was too late. I swam towards Sara, doing the best I could with my arm. Sara, grab hold. Huh? Kid, what are you doing? Just grab hold of me. I tried to grab Sara, but she swam away from me. Just leave me alone. Huh? Wait, Sara? I said stay away from me, pervert. Pervert? What? Then I noticed something a little bit strange. If I stretched my legs, I could just touch the floor. Sara? What? What are you doing? That's what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like. That's why I asked. I'm practicing swimming. Practicing swimming? Yes, just what it looks like. As if I would know. Flailing around like that. Anyone would think you were drowning. That was the comeback it launched into my mind, but what came out my mouth was, oh, I see, well, geez. Only that stupid line. Well, since you've seen me, I'll tell you, I guess. I actually don't know how to swim. As she said this, Sara continued flapping about madly in the water as if she was sinking. I thought we have all this time, and I found a swimsuit in the changing room. Distracted, I hadn't noticed. But when she told me I did it for the first time. Sara was decked out like a Lemu employee in a one-piece swimsuit. I wondered why I hadn't noticed. I blushed with embarrassment. But still, watching Sara's movements, it would have been more of a stretch to imagine her swimming than drowning. Besides, the medicine was still affecting me. I was making up all kinds of excuses. But Sara didn't notice my confusion, and kept at it. So I thought I'd try and get in a little swim practice. I mean, the water here isn't all that cold. Now that you mention it, I realized the water was warmer than in the corridors. I imagined the heat from the pipes had warmed it. So I was practicing swimming alone. I think you're a ninja. Ninja can... Well, swimming's the only skill I'm not good at. I see. Just between you and me, unfortunately my swimming was so bad that I wasn't promoted to a master. Is that right? What? Kid, you take everything so seriously. Ninja? Oh, so that was a joke. Sure it was. Me? A ninja? But but it's true that I can't swim. And being in this situation and not being able to swim makes me nervous. I think I'm probably the only one here who can't swim. You can swim, right, kid? I hadn't thought about it, but I thought I'd been swimming right a minute ago. That meant that I could swim. Yeah, I can swim. That's perfect. Will you teach me? I suppose. Huh? Well, I'm already soaked to the bone. I might as well teach you a little. You mean it? Alright. Well, you're being surprisingly nice, aren't you? No, I'm not. Oh, I know what it is. What? It's because I look so good in this swimsuit. Better keep your hands off. I know what you're talking about. Oh, see? I can tell I'm right because you're getting all worked up. Fine, I won't teach you anything then. No, wait, please. I won't tease you anymore. Promise? Yeah, I promise. I said I promise, I swear to God. To Buddha. To anyone else who'll listen. Well, alright. Really? You know I love you, right? Anyway, I should be going. Oh, I'm kidding. Come back here. Sara flapped her arms about, making even more spray. Oh, alright, I'll teach you, okay? Yeah. I was so hoping you would say that. I said stop that. Sara, you gotta relax more. Just be natural like. Sara? I had to strain my voice to be heard over Sara's splashing. I hadn't got out of the water. With my right arm in a sling, there were only so many ways to teach swimming. I just watched what she was doing and hollered out advice. But no matter what I said, she still looked clumsy. If you keep that up, you'll never learn to swim. Oh, what am I supposed to do? Pant. I'm doing my best to do just like you said. I see. You can't swim if you're so tense. You need to be smoother. Like this? Splash, splash, splash. She only whirled the water into a bigger froth with more spray. Whoa, Sara, slow down. I shouted instructions as I avoided the spray showering down around me. Are you doing that on purpose? Why would I? What do you expect me to do? You gotta move more slowly. Gentle-like. How am I supposed to know what you mean by gentle? What else can I do? You're no good at teaching. That ticked me off. Oh, I know. What? Sorry, you don't need to learn to swim, do you? Of course I do. Really? What do you mean? Listen, Sara, if you really want to learn to swim, then you ought to listen to what I say. Oh. If you can't listen to what I say, then I'll be going. Oh. Do you want me to teach you to swim? Yes. Is there anything you want to say to me? Sara glared at me menacingly. If not, then I pretended I was about to leave. I'm sorry. What, did you say something? I said I'm sorry. Now just teach me without being mean. Pretty please. Don't talk like a baby. A little bit is fine, no? Besides, I think I look pretty good in a swimsuit. You should be happy just to be around me. Not even a little. Truthfully though, Sara was something in a swimsuit. But I couldn't tell her that. I didn't want her to get a big head. Now why should I be so happy about seeing you in a swimsuit? Oh, you're such a jerk. Sara started kicking and showering me with water. Whoa, stop that right now! Then you tell the truth, you like me in a swimsuit, right? Why would I? You in a swimsuit? I was blushing, completely giving away my feelings. Oh look, you're getting red. See, you like seeing me. You're not listening to me. You're a guy. What's that supposed to mean? Well, any healthy guy in his right mind would like to be with a beautiful girl in a bathing suit. It's not like that. You're saying that even though you want to sneak a better look. I said I don't. I've had enough, I'm leaving. I was embarrassed because she'd seen through me. I really meant to leave the room. Hey! So I heard Sara scream behind me. Sara? I hurriedly looked behind me. Sara? Sara? What's the matter? Wondered if her leg had cramped. I sprinted to the water's edge, and then... Splash. Water suddenly sprayed in my eyes, blinding me. The next thing I knew, I'd slipped and was spinning in the air. The following instant, I was in the water. It happened so quick, I swallowed a ton of water, and some went up my nose. My nose stung. I desperately fought to get to the surface. Sarah? What is it? Sara pretended that nothing had happened and resumed his swimming practice. Sara, you're mean. I approached Sara. Huh? What? You fall for everything so easily. Sara. Seeing Sara laughing with such enthusiasm, I realized that that getting any angrier was pointless. Actually, for some reason I started to laugh. Sara and I laughed for a while. Anyway, once my fit of laughter was done, I got out of the water. Kid? Sara called out to me shyly. So should we start? Yeah. Okay, wise teacher, please fill me in with the swimming knowledge. You know, I'm pretty strict. You think you can handle it? Yes, sir. Okay then, let's get started. Okay. Listen, I think with you, Sara, your body gets tight because you think you can't swim. You have to relax more. But I'm trying to do it just the way you say. Yeah, but you're so stiff, like a scarecrow, or you're made of wood or something. You need to let your legs flow freely, like a fish maybe. A fish? Alright then, I'm a fish now. Okay, Sara, you need to get pumped. I just can't picture what you mean. Well, if you can't imagine a fish, then how about a dolphin? Or a whale? Anyway, you have to be more relaxed and move freely. No, you're still too stiff. Relax more. Just let your feet go. Somehow teaching you to swim had become fun. It was fun to see Sara, who was always in control of things, in the opposite position. Sara? I waited for Sara to emerge from the changing room. I played with her pendant. Looking at it without the flame or the light, it was just a mirror. I ran my finger around the edge of the pendant. I thought about what Sara had said in the compression chamber. Both of my parents are gone. Sara had looked so sad as she said it. Sorry I took so long. What's wrong? Why the glum face? Oh, it's nothing. But I brought this. Oh, you brought it for me. Sorry you had to stick around teaching me until the end. You're the one that made me stay. I mumbled this. Huh? What'd you say? Oh, nothing. Well, anyway, thanks a lot. And thanks for hanging out till the end. What? I was taken aback. I was waiting for some witty comeback. But Sara was sincerely saying thanks. Wow, you're being surprisingly nice to me. Yeah, well, I'm really grateful. Because I finally learned to swim by myself. Only a little bit, but it was fun. I was happy you were so serious about it. Sara? I got a little bit embarrassed. Somehow watching Sara struggle with something when she was used to having her own way. Well, it was kind of fun. I taught her how to swim correctly, but I did have an urge to be a bit of a bully about it. Still, I never thought she'd come out and say thank you. I really mean it, thanks kid. Yeah, but don't let it go to your head, because you can't really call what you were doing swimming. I was embarrassed, and reflexively went into meme mode. I know, if we have another chance, I hope you'll teach me again. Sure. Next time I'll really learn to swim. Yeah, you just need a little more practice. Teach me again, ninja. Sure. Somehow I'm tired out. As she spoke, Sara took the pendant and put it on. The way she was splashing about, I'm not surprised. Then she took it in her hand and stared at it. I'll bet if my brother was around, it would be kind of like this. Sara mumbled it, sounding lonely. Your brother? Yes, I had an older brother. He was fun, strong, and I adored him. But when we were little, we got separated. I see. But he promised me. Promised you? Yeah, he promised. He promised that he would come get me no matter what. Is that right? Yep. So I'm waiting for him. Waiting for him to come save me. Always. Sara's words brought back a vision I'd seen. Yeah, I promise. To wait like a good girl until you come for me. I'll wait like a good girl. I'll wait forever. I desperately tried to shake off the vision. Alright, all of that was the same, so we're cutting ahead. I wandered aimlessly around Lamu by myself. Honestly, I'd not been able to forget what Sara had said to me the day before, or more accurately, that morning. I couldn't seem to clear my mind. At breakfast, Sara was her same old self. I thought that a little walk might make for a change of mood. The next thing I knew, I was heading for the Cosmic Whale. I took the eye elevator. Hopefully this is different. I rode down to the 3rd floor that was flooded with water. There was no guarantee that Sara would be there. I turned my head inspecting the area. It was just then that I saw her again. Hey! I saw a small figure cutting across the corridor. I was sure of it. It was that girl. I chased after her. Her skirt shot back and forth as she walked further and further away. It was almost as if she was trying to get away from me. Hey, wait a minute. She might not have heard me, but she didn't show any sign of stopping. I wonder what it was all about. The skill that kept appearing out of nowhere and then disappearing. The skill didn't register on MMIH's bioscan. But she had registered once. Life reading 7. So this we've seen before as well, but maybe different because last time we got Sara up here? But the more I thought about it, the stranger everything seemed. She only appeared in front of me and we hardly communicated. Whatever. I knew thinking about it wouldn't help. It was something that I could solve by asking her directly. She hid into the cosmic whale room. I followed in soon after her. I don't see her anywhere. Instead I saw Sara sitting in the same place we had sat earlier, on the whale. Yes, it is different. Sara was singing softly. Moon sprite shouldering a long bow. Oh yeah, it freaks out every time it does an audio thing. Waiting inside a dream. I forgot about that. Again, apologies if it makes a mess. Tonight, a story by Moonlight. That's a new line, isn't it? Hoping the wait will be short. I really wish I knew why it does this. Sleeping killed and snug. Maybe it's because I got the dialogue turned right down. It probably has Japanese dialogue here. Sleeping in mother's arms. Her voice echoed quietly as if it was seeping into the night sky. Somehow it sounded faintly sad and lonely. I couldn't make myself call out to Sara. My eyes opened to the jarring sound of metal screaming under strain. I don't know if it was because of my broken arm or the swimming with Sara, but I felt sluggish and feverish, so I took some medicine and went to bed. Vibrations shot through Lemieux. I wonder if something's happened. By the time I'd gotten out of the infirmary, the shaking had stopped. I thought that if I went to the security office, I might learn what happened. Tsugumi, what happened? I don't know, I just got here myself. Tsugumi said it coolly. Then Sora appeared in the room. So you two are here. Sora, did something happen? Yes, water breached the cosmic whale room. Water breached it? Yes, the room's wall collapsed under the water pressure and started flooding. Are we alright? The doors to the cosmic whale have been sealed, and there'll be no effect on other areas. What about everyone else? You and Takeshi are in the control room. You and Takeshi, what about Sara? Sara, her last confirmed location is in a corridor near the cosmic whale. Corridor? Sensors in that area are not functioning at full capacity, so I've not been able to verify this. Presently it is completely cut off. What about Sara? I'm unable to confirm her location anywhere else in Lemieux. No way, then she was in that room? I couldn't stand staying in that room and ran outside. Tsugumi followed on my heels. Tsugumi and I went to the area housing the cosmic whale room. Sora, can you open the doors to the room? That is impossible. But I'm sorry. If I open these doors down, the sector will flood as well. If the generator room floods, then we'll be powerless. I cannot do that. What about Sara? Sara! Calm down. Tsugumi? Sora, are the emergency corridors around here still functioning? Is there any way to get to the room through them? I will check. Yes, there is a corridor directly above the cosmic whale. However, it is not possible to enter cosmic whale from there. That area is completely flooded. But we could enter it by diving, right? Yes, but I'll go. We've got to save Sara. With that broken arm, what are you going to do? But you'll start drowning, and in the end, I'll have to save you too. I'll go. But Tsugumi, you're injured, so keep quiet. Sora, what's the nearest entrance to a corridor that'll get me there? Using the connecting staircase out of here, and to the left. Tsugumi started running before Sora was done speaking, I assume that means. I chased after Tsugumi. Tsugumi, why? There's no other choice. We're in this together. Tsugumi? Tsugumi sprinted to the emergency stairs and climbed the emergency corridor. I followed right behind her. When I got to the corridor, Tsugumi was running for the cosmic whale room. I hurriedly ran after her. Tsugumi had turned the corner, had already opened the hatch to the whale room and was peering in. Tsugumi, wait! Tsugumi glanced at me. Wait here. Saying that, Tsugumi leapt through the hatch. Tsugumi? Sora, is Tsugumi okay? I don't know, we can only trust and wait for her. Only Sora's voice echoed through me. She was speaking through a different set of emergency speakers and her voice crackled and mixed with static. You and Takeshi said that they will wait for you in the infirmary. Okay. I looked in the emergency hatch again. Inside the hatch was brimming with cold water. Frustrated and feeling powerless because I could only wait, I tried to be patient. Tsugumi, please find Sara. Sara? Time passed. It might not have really been that long, but at the time it felt like an eternity to me. Tsugumi came bursting out of the water. On her back she was carrying Sara. Sara? Let's get her out of the water. Okay. I forgot the pain in my arm and yanked Sara up. Sara was like ice, cold and hard. In her firmly clenched fist was the pendant. Tsugumi put her hand on the back of her neck. There's no pulse. No, Sara. It can't be. Sara? Sara, wake up, Sara. I shook Sara's cold body. Tsugumi tried to calm me down and spoke. Anyway, let's get her to the infirmary. We carried her to the infirmary and lay her on an examination table. Tsugumi immediately started giving her a heart massage. Takeshi and you were fiddling with the machines around the examination table, trying to learn more about Sara's status. Takeshi got out the defibrillator. A beep signaled that they were charged, and Takeshi placed 2 pads on Sara's chest. Whap! Sara's body jumped. Tsugumi put her hand on Sara's neck and shook her head. She went right back to massaging her heart. Damn, one more time. The beep echoed again, and then the electric pulse again. Sara's face was drained of colour and her lips were blue. Her body was stiff and unresponsive. All I could do was watch the 3 of them busily work to save her. There was nothing in the drawers of memory accessible to me, telling me how to act in this situation. Images of the time I spent with Sara until now flashed through my mind, and the voices in the room barely reached me. Finally, Tsugumi relaxed her hands. With a look of grief, she moved away from Sara. Takeshi also put the defibrillator back on the table. No. Damn, why? What happened? Hey, why are you all stopping? Hey, why do you have all those looks on your faces? Kid? It can't be. Sara? Sara? Sara, wake up! Wake up, Sara! I started trying to copy Tsugumi's heart massage. The 3 of them watched with sad looks on their faces. Why? Why do you all want to give up? Sara isn't gonna die. She can't die here. I continued to pump her chest frantically. Sara? Sara, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Kid. You put her hand on my shoulder, but I shook her hand off and continued pushing on Sara's chest. Don't die. Open your eyes. Sara? Why do you care now? You were the one that ran away alone. I heard a voice. No, I didn't run away. I wanted to help you. I put more power into the hand that I was using to push on her chest. Her ribs bent into the strain. Still, I kept pumping. I told you, Sara. Sara, I told you I would come to help you. I told you I'd come to help you, didn't I? I prayed for Sara's heart to start beating. Sara? You said you'd wait like a good girl. You said you'd wait, didn't you? I pushed a little harder. A little water came out of Sara's mouth. She started breathing faintly and more water came out of her mouth. Sara? Sara? I shook Sara desperately. Sara's eyes opened slightly. Oh, Sara. The instant the tension in the atmosphere of the infirmary eased. Oh, thank goodness. Sara. Sara. I heard a song coming from somewhere. It was a soft but somehow lonely voice singing. Moon sprite shouldering a long bow. Waiting inside a dream. Tonight, a story by moonlight. Hoping the wait will be short. Sleeping curled and snug. Sleeping in mother's arms. Water sprite lifting a pair of paddles. Waiting inside a dream. Tonight, the whirlpool demon. Waiting for a boat. Hoping the wait will be short. Rocked to sleep. Sleeping. Sleeping held by the ocean. May 6th. Nearly out of time. I awoke with a nostalgic feeling. I found myself on a narrow bed in the infirmary. Looking up at the white ceiling, I gently nodded off. My memory slowly came back to me. flooding in the cosmic whale and saving Sara. Sara coming back to life. My fever worsening and then my collapsing. I looked over to the bed next to mine. Sara? Sara was asleep on the bed next to me. Her breathing was regular and her cheeks flushed a healthy pink. Feeling a bit relieved, I let myself half doze. From far away, I could hear faint voices. They seemed to come from an incredible distance. We're all jumbled together, but they sounded like Tsugumi and Takeshi. Their voices echoed slightly. The words were too faint for me to make out what they were saying. They were talking about Hamel or Hameln something. Words that I thought I'd heard before. But the sounds quickly changed in my mind to meaningless garble. After a while, the voices stopped. Out of habit, I touched my pinky to the thumb on my left hand. It felt a bit strange. I lifted my left hand and stared at the thumb. Something was strange. Out of place. The blurriness of my vision suddenly came into focus. The scar was gone. Why? How could it be gone? I hurriedly sat up. I stared over my left hand again. The scar was nowhere to be found. I was sure there'd been a scar there. I remember noticing it when I'd opened the elevator to rescue Sara. Had it just been a figment of my imagination? No, I was sure it hadn't been. I was positive there'd been a scar. But why'd the scar suddenly vanished? A sense of loss flooded through me, making me feel like I had a gaping hole in my heart. I sensed that I'd lost something critically important, but I was unsure of what. That's how I felt. Sora? Sora? Forgetting that Sara was sleeping, I shouted out for Sora. Yes, kid, what is it? Sora's voice answered me. Sora, did you do something to me? Something? What do you mean? Don't pretend you don't know. There was a scar on my left hand, but it's gone now. Oh, so that is what you mean. Sora appeared in the entrance to the room. What are you talking about? While you were sleeping, I extracted it. Extracted what? Perhaps you should come over here. I approached the examination table as Sora suggested. This. Sora pointed to a small shard suspended by a manipulator arm above the examination table. This was embedded in your thumb, so I extracted it. It's not the piece of the pendant, is it? It's the piece of the pendant, isn't it? It's gotta be. What gave you the right to do that? It could have been a clue leading to my past. I let loose on Sora without thinking. Yes, you're exactly right. However, no good can come from leaving a foreign object in your body to fester. More importantly, kid, do you recall seeing this fragment before? No, how could I? It didn't make sense to me why Sora would ask such a thing. This fragment had an image recorded on it. Sora continued speaking calmly. An image? Would you like to see it? I pinched the shard that had been buried in my thumb between my fingers. This? It had the same holographic image as in Sara's pendant. There was a picture of a man floating there. Can you see it? Yeah, I can see it. This hologram was designed so that it can only be seen when viewed through light of a certain wavelength. Right now I'm using MMIH to shine the proper light on it. I cannot confirm the date of manufacture of this hologram, but it is undoubtedly very old. Its makeup is fundamentally different from the ones being sold at the Limu kiosks. In the past, holograms were recorded using an interference pattern made from an object beam and a reference beam. Put simply, the object beam is the light reflected off the object. The reference beam is the light that interferes with the object beam. Do you understand? Sora continued on without giving me time to think. And now comes the important part. In order to make this hologram appear, light, which is the same wavelength as the reference beam, used to record the image must be shined upon it. So to sum it up, it's like this. The image on the fragmented hologram was recorded using light that was a certain wavelength. And in order to see the image, you must shine light of the same wavelength on it. It also cannot be seen under fluorescent light. You must use light generated by a heat-emitting light source such as sunlight or the flame of a lighter. And Sora continued her explanation. She said the special wavelength of light was infrared, around 850 nanometers, and that ordinary people couldn't see infrared light. She went on to say that if a person were able to see the infrared, they'd even be able to see in the dark, but that they could only see objects that emitted heat. But put another way, objects that gave off heat also emitted infrared rays. If you could see infrared rays, then you could tell the temperature of something without having to touch it. You would not be able to see this image unless you can see infrared light. The fact that you can see this image means that you can see infrared light, kid. But what about Sara? Does that mean that Sara can too? Yes, both of you have a very unique ability to see infrared light. Thinking back on it, that probably explained why Takeshi and you couldn't see the image in the pendant. But why was this hologram of my finger? I trembled as I said this. It's the same image as in Sara's pendant. Are you saying that the missing piece of that pendant has been in my thumb? That is the only conceivable explanation. The surface and shape of the fragment match the pendant perfectly. But why? That, kid, is because you and Sara are siblings. We figured that really, didn't we? It can't be. It's the same reason that you both have the ability to see infrared light. It is probably because you both carry the same genes. No. No. Kid, why wouldn't that make you happy? You found a blood relative. Is there any better way possible to recover your memory? No. I held my head and crouched down. In either case, it is a fact and you should accept it. While you two were asleep, I performed a DNA analysis on both of you. The results are indicated on the display. The probability that your brother and sister is nearly 100%. No. Suddenly the wall of my memory, that I had tried so hard to destroy, but had been unable to breach, crumbled. Like a dam that was holding back the overflow of my memory, it burst, unleashing a torrent of images that flooded into my mind. Ugh. Memories of my life in no apparent order flashed across my mind like random slides appearing on a screen. From one to the next, they floated up and vanished. My mind couldn't handle the flood of memories. And then came darkness. I heard a lullaby coming from somewhere. I groggily opened my eyes. I don't know what happened there. I was lying on a hard bed. I heard a voice crying from outside. There was a girl surrounded by a group of bullies in an open space. It was Sara. The kids were being cruel, jeering her and making fun of her in the only way that kids can. I ran up to Sara. The bullies scattered like baby spiders in the wind. Sara said that her precious pendant had been broken. Sara clutched the pendant firmly in her hand and bent over to pick up the fragment from it. I felt a sudden shock from behind. I was plunged forward. With a sharp pain, the shard was buried in my thumb. Creepy. The kids that always bullied Sara had encircled us. The laughter and howls of our tormentors echoed around us. You bullies, how could you do this to Sara? Forgetting myself, I lunged at the mob of kids. They beat me mercilessly, and as I lay on the ground, in that open space, I faced skyward. Satisfied with what they'd done to me, the bullies had left. Sara came and held out her hands to me. You're so brave, brother. She smiled as she said it. Even though I lost, blood continued to drip from my finger. Not wanting to worry Sara, I pretended that everything was fine, dismissed it as nothing. I didn't say anything to our teacher. I didn't go to the doctor, I just silently endured the pain. It seemed to me to tell someone of it would mean I'd lost. In time the wound closed up. Then one day a nice lady in a suit came. She told us there was a place we could go where things would be better. Saying this, the lady held out her hand. We could see things that other people couldn't. At first we thought our abilities were normal, but everyone had shunned us. The lady said she wanted to study us. I decided to go along with the idea. Our caretakers at the orphanage, where we lived, were happy to see us leave because they thought we were troublemakers. We fell right into their trap. They locked us in a small hospital room. Day in and day out we were marched from that room to the research institute. At night, moonlight would stream in through the lone window. The only things I remember are the Lieblich logos on the doors we passed every day, and the white frocks of the research employees, and every night, the voice of Sara crying in the room next to me. One day, there was something in the air that was different from other days. We were taken from our rooms and led to a research office in a different area. People who I'd never seen before took me away. Sara was alone. Alone was left there. Brother? I could hear Sara's screams. I shook off the adult hands and ran to where Sara was. The researchers tried to block my path. Sara? Brother? Sara, wait for me. I'll come back for you, I promise. I'll come find you. Be a good girl and wait for me. I'll be good and wait for you. But come for sure. You come to get me for sure, okay? I'll wait. I'll wait forever. I promised. That's how things were. Back then when I promised her, I promised to go get her. But I hadn't gone. I couldn't go. I was moved to another facility and after a while I was taken to a new home. My foster parents were good people. They were good to me even if I didn't get out of line. But they had sold their souls and were controlled by Lieblich. I passed my time under their forgiving but ever-present eyes, not being able to search for Sara. Still, there were times I did my best to find leads to her. But I didn't even know where the research facility was, and something would always get in my way, and after a while, I couldn't search anymore. I just hadn't been able to help Sara with my limited powers, but no matter what excuses I came up with, the result was the same. I'd abandoned Sara, in the isolated clinic room into which the cold moonlight shined. I couldn't keep my promise. Even now, Sara was on the other side of the door. I knew that she was still waiting for me in that miserable little room, still believing in me, just as I'd promised. The sense of guilt I felt overpowered me. It left me with an agonizing sense of hopelessness and utter despair. There was nothing I could do. I didn't have any other choice. What else could I have done? And with that revelation, we're going to need to wrap it up because we're out of time for today. But, I mean, they did kind of allude to the fact that we were probably her brother with his flashbacks. But we are definitely her brother, and this must be the facility that we were kept in, or something like it. Obviously, both of them are made by Lieblich, so I don't know. Or that room was just that similar, it made him freak out, I don't know. I'm interested to see how this ends anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed it, thanks for watching, thanks for getting out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.